In the outlines, we have dimensions of the mercy of God and ways of expressing the mercy of God today. So I'll go through the list here. The first one is dimensions of the mercy of God. We have pity, which is depicted in Psalm 103, verse 13. We also have kindness from Isaiah chapter 54, verse 8. Goodness in Exodus 34, verse 6. Compassion in 2 King 12, verse 23. Exodus 14, verses 13 through 15. And Matthew 18, verse 27. We also have merciful kindness, which is Psalm 117, verse 2. Loving kindness, which is Psalm 40, verse 11. And a marvelous kindness, which is also Psalm 32, verse 2. That just goes to show how many levels of kindness there are. And expressing and showing the mercy of God today, ways to do that are to be patient with people starting habits, limitations, and defiances. Helping anyone around you who is in pain and in need of help. I have no doubt that everyone in this room is already very, very helpful and will be quick to act on your heart if you ever see someone in need. So I feel like you guys already got that taken care of. Another one is give people the same chance to do the right thing. There's always that debate about whether you believe in second chances or not. And at least for me personally, I do, because I know God's given me unlimited chances, no matter how many times I've messed up and He's forgiven me. Who am I to not do the same for another? So that's always important. I think it's important to see where people are coming from, to give them chances, and to not hold grudges, mainly for the sake of your own heart. Doing good to those who hurt you, that kind of also falls in the same line of not holding grudges and not taking things personally, because there have been moments where I knew there was certain people who weren't fond of me, but I was still put in a position where I could act gracefully towards them, and I chose to, even though there was a side of my ego that was like, why did I do that? Like, I shouldn't have done this, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I knew I was able to rest better knowing that I acted based off the heart that God gave me. And that, like, sat with me more than wanting to be petty or doing what I think they deserved. Because we're not in charge. So I think it's best if we always lead with our hearts. Being kind to those who offend you. These are also they're all very similar, and they all relate in the same way. Another one is relate with people on the basics of love instead of law. That one seems a bit pretty self-explanatory. I think relate with people on the basics of love instead of law. Say, for instance, you have like a brother-in-law, and you feel like you only need to love him because he's your sister's husband. So that's how it would work, right? But no, you should love him for the sake of loving him. You should love him because God taught you how to love, and you have a heart to love. That's what your heart is for. So I think the way I read that is relate with people based off of love instead of law. So don't love because you feel like you have to or you need to because it's a law. I think just love because that's who we are at our core. So allow that to just take over. And I believe the last one is living in constant forgiveness. This also ties in with just not holding grudges and all that stuff. Because I've learned over time forgiveness, while yes, it does involve another person, it also has a lot to do with you. And I think we mentioned earlier today already too, how it's for the sake of your heart, and it's for the sake of cleaning your heart. Because without forgiveness, we like walk around with like this heavy weight on our back, and we're just depressed and moody, and oh, it's all their faults or whatever. But life is a lot more free, and weightless when there is forgiveness, because we don't need to hold on to the past all the time. So yeah, I think that's a really beautiful one to end off on. And we have some questions here before we conclude the School of the Spirit. We got, let's see, can someone give 3 dimensions of the mercy of God? Basically anything that I just listed. Anything that I just listed off. Being patient, helping someone, and giving someone another chance, 100%. Those are all important core values. Can someone mention 2 ways you can show mercy to the people of God? Maybe some examples. Yeah, forgiveness. That's a big one. And love. Yeah, forgiveness and love. I think these are such important aspects of just humankind in general, because without one, I mean, you already saw the example, we would be miserable. So always keep those at the forefront of your mind. And in conclusion, be merciful to people as you want God to have mercy upon you. Matthew 18:35. So that concludes today's School of the Spirit and the last School of the Spirit for the year. So thank you. Thank you.
Bible reading.
Bible reading.